Hey guys, it's your girl Kizzy Rock, and yes, Kizzy Rock is my birth given name. Happy Wednesday, happy hump day. Want to say hey to all my subscribers, new as well as seasoned. I got a word for you. Tap in. Happy Wednesday, guys. So I had a good sis who wanted me to make a recording on why it's important to remain silent when it comes down to responding to a narcissist or just a demonic entity, what just toxic people, dark energy people, just whatever, but just the importance of not always having to defend yourself. I told her I would make this recording tonight, but because the weather is going to get, the weather's iffy, I'm just not sure if I would be able to make it tonight. So I want to jump on really quick and make it. So here's the thing, my chosen ones. When you're dealing with demons in whatever sense, whether it be a narcissist or just a witch, warlock, just demonic spirits, whatever you want to call them, when you open yourself up, like the going back and forth, it literally opens your spirit up, right? And this is why if you've ever encountered a narcissist, and you go back and forth with them, whatever, like it's just kind of like a back and forth that you guys are kind of, maybe you're defending yourself or whatever. Do you realize how overwhelmed you feel when it's like your entire spirit is disturbed. It's like you can't even go on the rest of your day. Like everything from that moment forward goes wrong. That energy starts to transfer to other people. Like you might leave the narcissist and have an argument, but now when you go to the grocery store, like you're now getting into it with somebody because they're taking too long on the line, and now you're trying to get into your car, you're blowing your horn at people. Like everything goes haywire because you've opened your spirit up. And those demons have now attached themselves to you, and now they're having a party and manifesting and metastasizing all within your spirit. Spirits transfer. Spirits transfer. So the natural thing that we as humans want to do is to defend yourself, especially if somebody like blatantly telling a lie, like literally lying on you. It's one thing if they got some truth to it, but if they're blatantly telling lies on you, it's almost natural, feels natural to want to defend yourself. But as you mature spiritually, which is a whole process of a process, probably a process until Jesus comes home, honey, right? From my experience, it's more about the track record of how I seen God work when I took my hands off of things. When I was spiritually immature, and I'm not saying that I'm like at the pinnacle, because trust me, your girl got a long way to go, honey, but that's why God uses me, because I am transparent and I'm real and I'm authentic, and that's what God can really work with, right? But I've always had this desire to always want to defend my own self, like defend myself. And then what I realize is that God he'll let you, like he'll turn you over to yourself and let you defend yourself, but then he backs off. So now everything that you're trying to defend is now all on you, right? You got a headache, you're stressed out, nothing really works. The person is still doing whatever they're doing. Like, so it's you're spinning your wheels in mud, you're watering dead grass, nothing will work. And then he'll get you to a posture where he teaches you and he convicts you, don't touch this, leave this alone. I don't care what they say, I don't care what they do. You be obedient. Don't touch it. And then you will see how he will literally fight the battle for you. Meaning whatever that person tries to do, it literally backfires on them. So he will have people looking like a fool by defending you. Meaning no matter what lies they tell, no one will believe them. Or again, it would backfire on them, right? Or no matter what they're trying to do to you, it literally backfires. And then you have people out here trying to figure out, why why are their lives in such shambles? Like, why are they going through so much warfare? That warfare that you're going through is probably is backfiring of whatever you're trying to do to other people, especially if it's a chosen one. You better be careful playing up with God's chosen people. You better be careful putting your mouth on God's chosen people, because you can be responsible for someone walking away from certain things because it's too much pressure, or they just don't feel like it's worth it, or you may just be the icing on the cake when they're already dealing with certain type of warfares, and here you are trying to create some extra drama. You better be very, very, very careful when you are causing chaos or attempting to cause chaos and putting your mouth on a chosen one. You guys hear the rain? And so as time go on and you get those type of experience, what I've encountered is it goes from levels to levels. It's almost like God increases it. He will show you more and more. And each time that he defend you, it will be larger and larger and more grand and more grand. And so you'll get to a point when finally you get it, where it will not even bother you to defend yourself. And again, this is a whole process, right? But you'll get to a posture where you just sit back. Like you can sit back and laugh at certain things. And like you will literally not care who dislike you. You will not care who's lying. You wouldn't care because you know God is going to turn that thing around and you will win the victory. And he will deal with, you don't have to put your hands in anything. You don't have to retaliate. You don't have to say anything bad about them. All you got to do is stand. God will fight your battles. But if you keep trying to fight the battle, he will just back off and then just let you do it. And it's nothing going to happen. You're just going to stretch yourself out. You're going to lose your edges, all that stuff, get a receding hairline. Just fall back and let God do what God do. It is absolutely amazing when you can sit back and see. And here's another thing. It may not always happen when in your time frame. You may think a person have done something to you or create some type of chaos in your life. And you may think that God is going to deal with them the same week or the same month. Sometimes it may be years later, right? Sometimes you may not even ever know about it. Like, for example, something's popping up in my mind now. There's got to be for somebody. It's definitely not for me because this is not my scenario. But let's just say you had a husband or a wife who left you for somebody else. And you weren't perfect because you ain't that cute, boo, right? You weren't perfect. But they literally betrayed you and left you for somebody else. So at some point, this is definitely for somebody, honey, because my spirit is so ignited and it is not for me. This has never happened to me, right? Because you ain't gonna leave me. I'm gonna leave you. If anybody gonna do the leaving, right? You ain't going nowhere. No, your girl hold it down like that. Okay, Kizzy. So whew, child. Okay, so you may be sitting home thinking like you got the short end of the stick. You may really be thinking like he or she has moved on. People are calling you, telling you, oh, they saw your ex in Walmart with their new boo. They're shopping for curtain rods and like everything looks everything look I'm literally having visions in my head of somebody like holding hands, skipping around Walmart. But like everything seems so new and fresh, and he's or she, whoever left, they're so happy in love with this new person. And it's like, here, you're the chosen one. Like you try to do the right thing and you got betrayed. Now you're thinking all this time that this person got away. And now the enemy will get in your head trying to make you question God. Like, you fool, you're sitting here, you're trying to follow God and you're trying to do the right thing and, keep on believing in God. And here you sitting here all lonely and by yourself, this man or woman left you and now they're happy. Listen, listen, you listening? It may be 10 years later. It may be 1 year later. It may be 30 years later and you yourself may never even hear about it. But potentially that same person they left you for can be the worst heartbreak of their life. But you didn't do anything, right? You didn't go over there busting car. I hope you didn't go. You didn't go over there busting car windows and acting like a fool and slandering their name and trying to get them fired for their job or whatever. You may have been having those thoughts, but you know, God done convict you and told you to sit your behind down somewhere, right? He got this. But don't ever think that because you haven't seen something happen in your time frame, or you may not hear about negative things are going on. You don't know what that person is going on behind closed doors, what they're going through behind closed doors. You may think they're happily remarried or with their new boo or whatever. You don't know what kind of hell they're going through behind those closed doors. Of course, they won't tell you. Pride won't allow them to reveal that to you. And honestly, you can't even worry about that. You just got to worry about, the best revenge is leveling up. So get through your grieving process. This got to be for somebody. Get through your grieving process, right? Allow God to heal you. Then God's going to elevate you. And then God's going to bring the person to you who was always meant to be into your life. That's the best revenge. And God will make sure that they hear about it. And when they try to come back after receiving the worst heartbreak of their lives and that person leaving them, right? When they try to come back, access denied. Another heartbreak, another disappointment. So now they're feeling like, so I left my whole family. I left my whole such and such. I had a good woman. I had a good man. I left them for you. And now you don't even want me? Child, listen, let God do what God do. Listen, let God do what God do. You got to understand, as a chosen one, you got so much favor on your life that God won't even allow you to hurt but for so long. Now, we're human and the enemy can, throw some darts at us. Let's just keep it real here. But that's why it's very important to, again, take your time, grieve, regardless of what people say, take your time to grieve. But it's important. You must, all caps, you must get back up. Even if that means crawling. Crawl for how long you need to crawl. Then the next step is walking with a cane. Get rid of the cane. Pick up a walker. The walker comes first. Pick up the walker. Walk with the walker for a while. Then go to your cane for a while. And before you know it, honey, you got to get back up. This whole thing shifted from opening up your spirit by going back and forth with narcissists or whatever to this. So I know that's for somebody. But back really quickly, again, ask God for strength and discipline. That's one thing that someone shared with me like a year ago, and it made a world of difference. I would always ask God for patience. God, please give me patience. Please give me patience. And not realizing the importance of asking for strength, because I would still fail the patience test 50,000 times per day. But when you ask for strength, then God will actually give you strength in the area of patience or whatever that you're trying to accomplish. But again, so yeah, be very careful trying to defend yourself against demons. People are walking around with demons, and just because they look like a physical being, right? Be very careful about arguing with people, trying to defend yourself, because once your spirit opens up, because that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to get your spirit to open back up. They're trying to get you to take to whatever they're doing, reject it, rebuke them on sight, point blank period, right? Return to sender. But be very, very, very careful. You got to get yourself to a point too that God will start literally like revealing to you that no matter how nice you are, no matter how much of a people person you may be, there are some people God will convict you not to have any conversation with. Where some people, it can be a whole whatever they got going on. But you can be friendly, or you can, but the closer you get to certain levels and certain breakthroughs, God will convict you to cut certain people off. Don't even respond to a text, to an email. Don't even accept anything. Like, God is very strategic, and these are ways that he will protect you, right? So just stay tapped in, stay on point, stay guarded, but stop responding to everything. Again, ask God for strength to help you to not respond, especially when you're dealing with narcissists and demonic forces. It's your girl, Kizzy Rock.